Welcome back to AB in Focus. I'm Nicole Abigail, reporter at Arabian Business, and joining us today is Jorn Lambert, the Chief Product Officer at Mastercard. Jorn, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Nicole.
So jumping into the first question, how do you envision agentic commerce reshaping the consumer experience over the next decade?
Yeah, look, agentic is all the buzz right now, and the reason for that is that we're seeing enormous consumer adoption for these AI assistants right now for anything that a consumer needs to research or discover. And that includes product search. So if I want to buy some new running shoes, yesterday I would need to go and scroll the internet over in different websites, figuring out what kind of shoes would work for me. Then I would want to find the best deal, then I want to look at the reviews. And I'd be busy for an hour and a half, ending up with not really sure if I got the best deal or not. Now with these assistants, you can do a quick search with a prompt, long distance running shoes that have a good rating, that fit my profile and that are available for delivery near me within the next day. And it will spit out an answer for me that I can then purchase. That is the funnel. That is what happens on the AI assistants. Once you have that answer, it's only natural that people will want to stay in that environment and complete the purchase rather than going back to a merchant website to complete it. And that's what is agentic commerce is, where you're allowing the agent to assist you in the purchase once you have done the product discovery. Given that so many people already do the product discovery on these websites, we're working with all of these AI platforms to now enable those platforms for commerce in such a way that consumers, merchants, and agents, and frankly the banks who support all these players are kept safe and are transparent.
It sounds like it's really giving people back their time, which is great.
Yeah, that's right. The cognitive toll today to find your product is quite laborious, and that can be reduced to a matter of seconds, if not minutes. And as a result, they can spend their time doing something else.
Absolutely. And now Mastercard recently announced the Mastercard Agent Pay. What is it? How does it work? And how will it enhance commerce as well?
So key in this whole process is to keep consumers safe. Right? If you allow an agent to spend your money, you just want to make sure that that agent is real and not some malicious bot. You want to make sure that the merchants exist. You want to make sure that you have recourse in case something goes wrong. And Agent Pay is about all that. It's about first making sure that we have registered agents that can help you. Second, making sure that you as a consumer are authenticated so nobody can steal your credentials and have that agent make a transaction on your behalf. Third, making sure that the merchant is aware of what's happening underneath the covers. And then fourth, making sure that you as a consumer, in case the wrong running shoes come through the mail, you have recourse and you can actually return that or have the ability to get your money back. All this needs to be carefully constructed so we retain trust in the system and people can go about their activities with peace of mind.
Definitely. And now what foundational technologies and partnerships are critical to scaling agentic commerce globally?
So Mastercard is a network. We don't do anything on our own. We do everything with our partners. That is first and foremost our issuing banks, the acquiring banks, the banks of the merchants. We're working with merchant and marketplaces. We're working obviously with the big AI platforms right now, but also with players like Cloudflare, which provides the underlying platform technology for merchants to present their catalogs and for merchants to interact with these agents. It's really an ecosystem play, which is why it's so important that we reach out, we actually share and get feedback from all these players and construct this new ecosystem with buy-in from all parties involved.
And now with all this technology involved, I'm sure safety is a priority and also a concern among consumers. So can you tell us what safety measures is Mastercard implementing to ensure trust, transparency, and ethical AI and agent-driven payments?
Yeah, so absolutely paramount. If you don't have trust, the whole thing will obviously collapse on its own. And I think part of that is making sure that the user experience feels very natural to consumers, but part of it is also making sure that you show to consumers that you're only working with the right legitimate agents, that you're only allowing the right merchants to play, and that if something goes wrong, which hopefully will never be the case, but if something goes wrong, they have recourse and they can actually get their money back. That is fundamental in what we have been doing for decades in Mastercard. A consumer using a Mastercard will have recourse, even if the person that they bought something from doesn't exist or is a fraud. They will have recourse, and we have to keep that promise in agentic commerce. This is what we're about. And without it, we cannot exist as a payment system.
Absolutely. And now looking ahead, what role will agentic commerce play in B2B systems and the enterprise as well?
Yeah, I think it's extremely relevant for B2B, whereby there's a lot of quite laborious processes that can be made more efficient. That is accounts payable, that's account receivable, that is inventory management. And so the very principles of safety and security, of authentication, of certification, apply to the B2B environment as well. And we're already working with many of the players there to see, well, how can we make their processes more efficient? How can a business that needs to procure goods have a bot finding the right possible deal and then establish the contractual relationship with that, and we then come in and make sure that is a legitimate or a safe payments on the back of that.
Okay, and now my last question to you is, how should financial and merchant ecosystems think about adapting themselves to the new realities of commerce?
Yeah, so critical, of course, is that we're all essentially preparing ourselves for that. That means that we need to apply or implement the different protocols and the different solutions that we have. The way we've constructed Agent Pay is what we call backward compatible. So it is working on tokens, which is what powers today much of e-commerce and mobile commerce already. So actually we are kind of using that same technology. We're authenticating consumers based on passkey, which is already something that we apply in e-commerce. And so we're trying to make the lift as low as possible, so it's not like you have to rewire the entire world to make this happen. But there's still some things to do, because you have now a new player in that payment ecosystem, the agents, and we need to adapt so that we kind of keep the system rolling and the system safe.
Amazing. Well, thank you for simplifying this to understand, because there is a lot of technology involved. I know it's very complicated, but this is truly well understood. And thank you for your insight today as well.
Of course. Thank you,
so
Nicole.
much.